Okay, we're going to be doing the pack list contents of the Smyth Charger Ute. Go ahead.
Item number 2, extruded metal bed floor, 74 inches.
This is the extruded metal bed floor, 74 inches long. It mounts at the very end of the build on top of the bed. There are 3 of them. All right.
Item number 4, bed sides, left and right.
The aluminum bed sides are the largest pieces in the kit. There you are. Left and right. They go all the way from the front wall, all the way back to the tailgate. Go ahead.
Item number 6, front wall.
The front wall is the item that says Smyth on it, and it mounts all the way at the front of the bed. Like so. Go ahead, Jack.
Item number 8, front tray.
The front tray is that 13-inch tray that you see there with the leg. That mounts at the front of the bed. This is what it looks like in the kit. All right, Zach.
Item number 10, B-pillar gussets, left and right.
This is a B-pillar gusset. This would be the driver's side B-pillar gusset, or the passenger side B-pillar gusset. They mount like this, and they reinforce the area at the front of the rear door. It bolts to the bedside and the front wall. Okay.
Item number 12, tailgate brace / adjustment plates.
Tailgate adjustment plate is underneath this corner and looks just like this. So this is riveted under the corner of the rear corner at the top to reinforce that area so it doesn't flex. Okay.
Item number 14, forward floor mounts, 90 degrees.
The forward floor mounts, these are the forward floor mounts, 90 degrees. And what's the next item?
Also forward floor mounts, 81 degrees.
And these are the 81-degree floor mounts. Floor mounts are used. The 90 degree is mounted in the front of this leading brace, and the 88 degree follows the angle of the floor, and in between them, we'll have this later, but in between them you put a spacer plate. All right, Zach.
Item number 18, tall floor mounts.
The tall floor mounts are the same things. There are 4 of them, and they are used on the rear. The bar just in front of the spare tire well, and they mount here with a spacer block as well. So if you had one of those white spacer blocks, this mounts that, and one of the long M8s mount this together and to the floor. Okay, Zach?
Item number 20, C-channel to fender plate.
C-channel to fender plate. And the spacer as well?
Yes, and the spacer, that's item number 22.
This is the C-channel to fender plate. This is the spacer. This is used under the rear end of the inner fender. This goes inside the C-channel. The spacer mounts in between like this and provides a way to anchor this back edge of the inner fender to the C-channel. So you rivet here, you rivet here. This is the connecting piece.
Item number 24, rail cap, left and right.
The rail cap is one of the final pieces you use. This is the long aluminum piece that goes over the fiberglass and aluminum sandwich. So this piece covers and allows you to hide all of your mounting rivets and finishes off so you have fiberglass top rail cap.
Item number 26, front tray to floor support bracket.
You saw the front tray. This is the floor support bracket on the car. It is that bracket you see mounting the front tray to the floor of the Charger.
Item number 28, tailgate plate.
This is the tailgate plate. It mounts in the tailgate, as you see here. This is the access panel for all of the hinges, or rather the latches and actuator hardware.
Item number 30, inner fender, left and right.
The inner fender I already showed you. This is the inner fender on the right-hand side. This is a TIG welded piece. It's a very large item, and there is the driver's side. Easier to see installed.
Fender fill backing plates.
The fender fill backing plates look like this, and they mount right here. When you assemble your inner fender, this backing plate goes underneath, and the fill plate tidies up a gap that we leave for adjustment purposes.
Item number 36, B-pillar fascia seal plate, left and right.
The B-pillar plate looks like this, and this is used to cover the inside. If you were to look inside the quarter panel, this is a trim plate for decorative purposes.
Item number 38, rear quarter panel to bedside mount.
The rear quarter panel mounts to the bedside in an interesting way. Right down here. This is the lower mount to mount the fiberglass quarter panel to the car. We mount it here. We mount along the rail at the top. And we mount in the rear with the next piece.
Item number 40, front quarter panel to sill mount.
Front quarter, oh that is, so this is the front quarter panel to sill mount. What was the other one?
And the other one is the quarter panel to bedside mount, the little one.
Oh, you guys call this the bedside mount. So this piece here is what is called the quarter panel to bedside mount. It mounts under the light area and mounts the fiberglass quarter panel to the inner wall. Okay?
Item number 42, roll pan bracket.
Roll pan bracket. This is a roll pan cover. You can see it installed right here. It mounts on top of the roll pan. Take a look at the seam down there, Cooper. Down here, this is your roll pan. This little plate is called the roll pan bracket. It covers the top of the roll pan and allows you to rivet the top plate that we're talking about now to the fiberglass and gives it something solid to mount to.
Item number 44, glass to front wall mount.
This is the glass to wall mount. You can tell it has an angled cut, and it is used to mount. This is what the glass bonds to on the bottom edge. The angle is angled forward. The leading edge of the 90 matches with the leading edge of the front wall on the interior. You can zoom in and take a look at this one. Just right here. That's how it mounts. All right, Zach.
Item number 46, grommet plate driver's side.
The grommet plates are the small plates that are used under the wiring harness as it passes through the front wall. So follow me. Right in here. So these wires, this is the very small bundle that goes on the driver's side, and all you do is take this little tiny plate and I just bond it and rivet it in. This mounts under, on the other side of the car. It mounts flat up against the wall to hold the wires up. On the passenger side, you just have a larger one that holds the plastic tray containing the wires. Bigger bundle. Right?
Item number 50, badge backing plate for Charger.
So the Charger emblem can either be applied directly to your paint or connected to a badge if you happen to have, go ahead, Zach.
The badge backing plate for Charger and the badge backing plate for Hemi/RT.
So the Hemi has usually an RT badge or an SRT8 badge. The RT is most common. We use this to cover the 3 holes on the tailgate. On the stock tailgate, there are 3 holes here, and the RT badge is a perfect one. I paint mine black, but then that covers the 3 holes on the tailgate without welding. Go ahead.
Item number 54, sunroof drain tray.
The sunroof drain tray is now on this table. It's installed in the car. It mounts up over the headliner to keep the water going out to the outside.
Item number 56, scrap shims.
In the kit, you're going to see a little bundle of random flat pieces. Every now and then you need to make a bracket, and we're giving you the thick aluminum scrap so you can make those if you wish. They are not needed, but they are there if you choose to use them.
Item number 58, C-channel crossbar, cut to 39.5.
The crossbars, there are 4 crossbars. There are 2 welded and 2 unwelded. The 39.5 bar is the 90-degree bar. It mounts just in front with the tall brackets. You can go ahead and show that. The tall 90-degree brackets mount the 39.5-inch bar to the floor. Okay.
Item number 60, C-channel crossbar, cut to 37.3125, cut trapezoid, 50 degrees.
Cut trapezoid 50 degrees. This angled bar that you see here is angled because it mounts just behind the front tray. So these angles allow you to mount over the frame rails on the side.
Item number 62, C-channel crossbar, bolt-on ends, mid, 61.25 inches.
The long welded bar, and you can tell these are the ones with the TIG welded end plates. The long one is the one that goes directly over the spare tire well.
Item number 64, C-channel crossbar, bolt-on ends, rear, 51.13 inches.
The 51-inch piece, same exact one, but about 8 inches shorter. This one mounts all the way to the rear. You can see this one installed. The C is open and faces forward because you're going to be riveting to the other side. This one bolts to the 2 sides of the wall where the tailgate mounts. Okay.
Item number 66, window surround, left.
The window surround is a fiberglass piece. I'm painting this one here so I can show you what it looks like. This is the window mount, slides in place. Go ahead.
Item number 68, window surround, center.
This is the center window surround right here. Once again, I have it. This is what it looks like. Okay.
Item number 70, window surround, right.
The right-hand side window surround, same as the left, but on the right side.
Item number 72, quarter panel, left and right.
Quarter panels are the large fiberglass pieces that mount to the outside of the car.
Item number 74, bumper roll pan.
The roll pan is the piece that has the license plate opening. There you are. They mount at the outer edges to the fiberglass quarter panel, and on the top edge to that roll pan mount plate.
Item number 76, tailgate spoiler.
The tailgate spoiler on this car is installed, but it comes in a box. It's from Lund. It's a plastic molded piece, and it mounts to the top of the tailgate. When the tailgate, the spoiler, and a 5/8 inch spacer are used together, they match height-wise.
Item number 80, 3/16 flush rivets.
We use flush rivets, which are the flat-topped rivets. They have a angled mount base and when you countersink the hole, they mount below the surface. Go ahead.
Item number 82, 3/16 standard rivets.
Standard rivets are also very flat, but you can tell they have a flat mounting surface on the bottom. We use the non-flush rivets for most of the riveting that does not require a cosmetic finish.
Number 84, M8 tailgate cable bolt.
The cable bolts are Ford OEM pieces. These allow you to mount the stock cable and allow it to hinge on that flat surface. This is the bottom bolt of the striker and latch, and it mounts to its own hole on the side of the aluminum bedside.
Item number 86, M8 nylock nuts, zinc plated.
These zinc plated nuts are used with all of our stainless M8 button head caps.
Item number 88, M8x20 stainless steel bolts.
M8x20 stainless steel, we use these to mount almost all of the fiberglass, or all of the aluminum rather, pieces together when you build the bed.
Item number 90, M8x60 stainless steel bolts.
The M8x60 bolts are used to mount the plastic spacer and the two brackets, as was shown earlier, when you mount the C-channel to the floor.
Item number 92, M8x20 socket flathead bolts.
The flathead bolts are the same as the 20 millimeter M8s, except the flathead is mounted right here on the cot. These 4 bolts on each side under the fiberglass are flush. These 2, I leave regular button head. Anything under fiberglass, I use the flush ones. So on the final kits, all of these are now flush.
Item number 94, 1/4 inch washers.
1/4 inch washers are generic washers we use every time we put a bolt together, inside and out, if there is enough nylon locking material left on the nuts.
Item number 96, 1/4 inch by 20 by 1/2 inch socket button head.
The 1/4x20 button head screws are used to mount the corrugated floor, which was item 2, I believe.
Item 1.
We start even numbers only. Item 2 is the corrugated bed floor. We tap the 1/4 because that's a very common tap. We tap the thick C-channel instead of using nuts. We just tap it and run these through.
Item number 98, 1/4 inch by 20 rib nuts.